Manhattan in the 1950s stands as one of the most fascinating intersections of modern ambition, post-war optimism, and cultural transformation in urban history. And through AI reconstruction, we can now vividly reimagine what life truly felt like in Manhattan during that era, not just in black and white photographs, but in immersive detail filled with motion, sound, and atmosphere. This was a decade shaped by the aftermath of World War II, where returning soldiers, booming industries, and a rapidly expanding middle class converged to redefine the skyline and the streets of New York City, turning Manhattan into a symbol of global progress and urban identity, where towering skyscrapers like the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building dominated the skyline, reflecting both architectural ambition and economic power, while below, the streets buzzed with a rhythm that blended yellow taxis, chrome-heavy automobiles, and the steady movement of pedestrians dressed in tailored suits, fedoras, and elegant dresses, creating a visual language that AI reconstruction can now bring to life with striking realism, restoring not only the physical environment, but also the cultural energy that defined a decade. Walking through reconstructed 1950s Manhattan reveals a city that was both glamorous and gritty, where neon signs flickered above Times Square and the Broadway theater district pulsed with life, drawing crowds eager to experience live performances, musicals, and the early influence of television celebrities. While just a few blocks away, industrial zones and working-class neighborhoods carried a hum of labor and daily survival, illustrating the stark contrast that coexisted within the same urban grid. Something AI models can now simulate with remarkable precision by analyzing historical archives, photographs, and urban data to reconstruct entire streetscapes down to the smallest detail, from storefront signage to the texture of pavement. The 1950s were also a golden age for consumer culture, and Manhattan was at its center, with department stores like Macy's becoming temples of commerce, showcasing everything from fashion to home appliances, reflecting a society increasingly driven by consumption and innovation. And AI reconstruction allows us to step inside these spaces, imagining the polished floors, the carefully arranged displays, and the excitement of shoppers experiencing modern convenience for the first time, while outside, diners and coffee shops lined the streets, filled with conversations about politics, culture, and the future, often underscored by the soft hum of jukeboxes playing early rock and roll, a genre popularized by artists like Elvis Presley, whose influence marked a shift in youth culture and social attitudes, something that would soon ripple across the entire country. Transportation in 1950s Manhattan was a defining feature of daily life, with the subway system already deeply embedded in the city's infrastructure, carrying millions of commuters beneath the streets, while above ground, buses and taxis navigated the dense traffic, and AI reconstruction helps us visualize not only the movement, but also the soundscape. The rumble of trains, the honking of horns, the distant echo of footsteps in underground stations, creating an immersive sensory experience that goes far beyond static imagery. The decade was also marked by significant social dynamics, including the early stages of the civil rights movement, where figures like Malcolm X began to rise in prominence, advocating for racial equality and justice, particularly in neighborhoods like Harlem, which stood as a cultural hub for African-American life, music, and intellectual thought. And AI reconstructions of these areas can highlight the vibrancy of jazz clubs, street gatherings, and community spaces that played a crucial role in shaping the social fabric of Manhattan, offering a more inclusive and layered understanding of history. Speaking of music, the 1950s Manhattan nightlife scene was unmatched, with jazz legends like Miles Davis performing in intimate clubs, creating an atmosphere that blended artistic innovation with urban sophistication. And through AI visualization, we can almost hear the trumpet notes echoing through smoky rooms filled with audiences captivated by the raw emotion of live performance, capturing a cultural moment that defined not just a city, but an entire generation. Meanwhile, the film industry was simultaneously shaping public perception of Manhattan, with movies portraying it as both a land of opportunity and a place of struggle, influencing how people across the world imagine the city. And AI reconstruction draws heavily from these cinematic references, combining them with real historical data to create a hybrid representation that feels both authentic and emotionally resonant. Architecture during this period was undergoing a transition, with older Art Deco structures coexisting alongside emerging modernist designs, reflecting a shift in aesthetic preferences and technological capabilities. And AI tools can now reconstruct entire city blocks to show how these styles interacted, revealing patterns and contrasts that are difficult to perceive through isolated photographs alone, offering more comprehensive understanding of urban evolution. Daily life in 1950s Manhattan was also deeply influenced by gender roles and societal expectations, with many women navigating the balance between traditional domestic responsibilities and emerging opportunities in the workforce, a dynamic that can be subtly observed in reconstructed scenes of offices, homes, and public spaces where fashion, posture, and interaction patterns reveal the underlying social norms of the time, while men, often seen in structured suits and formal attire, embodied the professional ethos of the era, contributing to a visual identity that remains iconic even today. The presence of newsstands, street vendors, and corner shops added another layer of authenticity to the city's atmosphere, with newspapers covering everything from Cold War tensions to local events, reminding us that this was also a decade shaped by global uncertainty, particularly the rise of the Cold War, which influenced public consciousness and cultural expression. And AI reconstructions can incorporate these elements to create a more contextually rich environment, where even the headlines displayed on a street corner contribute to the narrative of the time. Technology in the 1950s was advancing rapidly, but it was still far from the digital age we know today, making AI reconstruction an especially powerful tool as it bridges the gap between past and present, allowing us to experience a pre-digital world with a level of detail that was previously impossible, transforming static history into a dynamic, explorable environment where every street, building, and individual can be part of a larger, interconnected story. Ultimately, reconstructing 1950s Manhattan through AI is not just about visual accuracy, but about capturing the essence of a city at a pivotal moment in history, where ambition, culture, and innovation converge to create an urban landscape that continues to influence the world today. And by immersing ourselves in this reconstructed reality, we gain a deeper appreciation for the complexities, contradictions, and achievement of that era, understanding that behind every building and every street corner lies a story shaped by the people who lived, worked, and dreamed in the heart of Manhattan, making it not just a place, but a living, breathing symbol of human progress and resilience.